You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
After this, there is no turning back.
Two internet shows coming together for special episodes.
You have to see it for yourselves.
This thing is bigger than Nino Brown. This is big business. This is the
Coast to Coast. Connecting the East Coast and the West Coast. Coast to Coast. KANU Chronicles with host Nate, a.k.a. Crash. In America, period, with host matthew.Staniszewski.
Do you want to know what it is?
Building the bridge, connecting Gen X all the way to Gen Z. A show about everything and also nothing. Welcome to The Joint.
You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want.
Coast to Coast. Welcome to The Joint.
This is your
All right, we're here at The Joint. Episode number 2. I'm matthew.Staniszewski from America, period. My brother, Nate, a.k.a. Crash from KANU Chronicles. I always say KANU. It's KANU.
It's KANU Chronicles. KANU Chronicles.
Which starts with
like,
a K.
You sound like AI that does that same thing. But anyways, yeah.
So Siri says it the wrong way too.
Probably. No, I when I use AI to make some video stuff, like I'm making little, if you go to KANU Chronicles on YouTube, you can check them out on my shorts. I got some AI type generated videos with stories and different silly stuff.
Oh, that's pretty cool. And it's spelled KANU.
Yes. And there's a whole meaning with it. It started with my homie Kim. Shout out to Kim Broski, who's been on many of the podcasts. It's just audio, but yeah, you got to check those out if you're on my PodBean. Or
some of them are pretty fun.
Oh yeah, we got some stuff, and so it came out of like, we just started hanging out. Like we knew each other, but we didn't hang at that. Like before then, we would I was just hanging out with Lynn, which was his roommate at that time, and anyways, we were just kicking it, making fun of Lynn, like some things he would say. We're just like having fun bagging on him. And then he just turns to me like, we're KANU. That's it. We're KANU. I'm like, what's that mean? And he's like, Kim and Nate united. And I'm like, okay, word.
I like the meaning behind it. That's wholesome. It has a good story.
It's a good story.
And you've had that for a long time too. I mean, that's been years.
Yeah, that was actually, it would be right now, that'd be 20 years at that, if you're talking all the way to that time. Yeah.
You seriously have had that for 20 years. No kidding.
Straight up. When I started my YouTube, it was in 2007. So I started with KANU KANU Chronicles. I think it was something, it was definitely KANU. It wasn't KANU Chronicles at first, but later that came along. And then like recently in the last few years, I came up with another acronym that could be, more universal. And it's so KANU, knowledgeable, aptitude, nurturing, upright.
Nice.
And that was thanks to some online little help, just like to come up with right away. I was like, I don't think I need to go on. That's good. I like that.
Did you use AI for that then? Or was that just people like brainstorming online?
No, like a website that offers like that. Like I just looked up like acronym something, and it gave me, I just found whatever that site was and it literally came up with that pretty quickly. And I was like, I don't need to really go on. I like that. That seems to nail some things. And then, so that's just on, again, though, it's just can't. And then there's another funny thing about it. So if you look up KANU, you'll find, if you Google search just KANU straight up, you don't have to put KANU Chronicles. If you do put KANU Chronicles, it comes up with Kane Chronicles like in front of me.
Kane
like,
Chronicles? If you scroll down,
yeah, it's some from a movie. It's like one of these I forget what it is. But I could look it up and give you that real quick. And then I got something better than that. so we can just give some of that. Let's see. Oh, wow, I come up pretty nice. No, isn't that interesting? Is it just for me? Hold on. Google be doing it different every time. Let's see. All right. Well, I don't know what the hell that was. It's not coming up that way. Let me get back on there. So, all right. So the other part is there's a soccer player. He was pretty well known in the soccer world. His name's KANU, and he's from Nigeria. And then he played with some big teams and outside of even Nigeria, and he's retired. He's been retired for a while.
Okay.
And then I got in, looking, and I'm like, I looked up info, and I was like, oh shit, we're the same year. We're born the same year and shit. I was like, that's a trip.
That's kind of ironic that that's a weird coincidence.
Right? It's interesting. I was just like, what the hell? I got to get his jersey though. I got to get one of those.
Nice. Very nice.
I'll get one made either way if you. I got some hats made a while back, but
did you? Cool.
Yeah, Josh would help me out.
Wait a second. Where was mine at, man?
Well, we just had just one-offs, and then he'd lose them, or some got, whatever. But I'm gonna get new stuff. They're gonna be coming soon. I got them done at a swap meet right across the street from me.
Those are still a thing. I love it.
Oh yeah, swap meets is a thing.
I haven't heard that term in so long. That's interesting.
That's LA. Oh yeah, they got the famous Slauson swap meet in Compton, which you will not see me coming up to that.
You won't go to the Compton one?
Nah, I'll go to Compton, but I ain't going to the swap meet.
No,
maybe maybe I would. I mean, with certain my guys, yeah, I'll go then. But
fair.
Nah, yeah, I ain't gonna go there. Just regular. There's a story on that one too.
Oh my goodness, Nate! I can only imagine.
Stories.
I can only imagine what you got yourself into from time to time.
Yeah, no, I didn't. That was the good part. It was this girl I worked with. So when I was in post production, we were just both. It was called client services, basically runner, and you're, doing stuff like that, like a waiter in the studio, kind of.
Okay.
You want a coffee? You want the,
right?
And so. She was from Compton. Can't remember her name right now. She was really cool. And my boy Sky, shout out to Sky Elobar, who's Pittsburgh native. Seventh House was the band back in the day. But he was just getting here. Like, I think he was at that point moving here, or at least like on a good trip here at that point. And we somehow came up in conversation. He goes, man, I want a Compton hat, and I want that old English, the real shit. And I'm like, right. And I want it from there. I'm like, I got you. Actually, it was like, you know what? I actually got you. I think I could do that for you. He's like, really? I was like, yeah, let me see. So homegirl, I talked to her, and I'm like, hey, I want to ask you, can you get these hats made, or you know where to get them down there? She goes, oh yeah, I can get that at the Slauson swap meet. No problem. I was like, word. And she's like, you want to go? I was like, nah, I'm good. I was like, look, I'll give you the money and everything, And she's like, okay, I got you. I was like, okay. So she went and did it, and she got a couple things made. Not for me. I didn't get one. It was just for him. And it was, I don't know if it was at that time when she went or just after or something, but she goes, oh, it's good you didn't come. Somebody got shot up at the swap meet. I was like, shit. I was like, there you go. So,
and remind me that that will also now be on my list of things not to do when I come out to LA to come visit.
Well, this swap meet, you're good. This swap meet, you're fine.
Okay, as long as I'm good at that one.
That one's cool. Yeah, that'll
be my first experience going to one. So,
oh, it's cool. It's pretty cool. There's a little bit of everything. There's even sushi there. Actually, there's a sushi spot in there.
Legit.
I haven't tried it. It looks good. Yeah, it's been there now for a little while.
All right.
You get everything. Yeah, everything. You get phones. You could get a massage. You can fucking get acupuncture. You can buy some clothes, shoes, get hats made. I mean, it's pretty dope. Cowboy boots. They got it all.
A little bit of everything out there.
Very eclectic. Yeah, it's very eclectic.
Dude. Well, Pittsburgh has its fair share of,
Mm-hmm.
they have like the.
You gotta look
I'm
for it.
assuming that's kind of like almost like a Trader Jack's or like one of those.
Yeah.
Like
probably
the
so.
fairgrounds. When they have all the booths and okay.
Yeah,
all right.
it's pretty
so
similar.
I have been to them. Yeah, we just
It's
different.
just not set up like that. Yeah, it's not like a building or something. So yeah, or maybe some of those are, but yeah, it's just a different thing.
Right.
Yeah, but it's comparable. I mean, really, it's just region difference. That's it.
And, speaking of differences, I always like to give a shout out to one of our unpaid sponsors. And one of ours tonight is Lay's ketchup flavored chips. Now, look, I'm not a big snack person, but Nate, I do like the flavored chips. And I'm intrigued to try these. So, let's see what these are all about here.
And my sponsor, unofficial sponsor, is Keith, Special Keith Weed.
I'm just having chips. Okay. So this is a ketchup flavored chip.
Which would go great with chips for the snackage.
You know what?
Woo, Cali.
They're not bad. They definitely taste like ketchup. And you know what they remind me of?
Seems like a good combo, though.
Well, potatoes and ketchup. I mean, and it's funny you mentioned that. They almost, and I have not eaten fast food in 15, 20 years.
Good for you.
Oh, that stuff. Yeah, I do enough that will put me in an early grave. I don't need the fast food on top of it. It almost reminds me of a McDonald's French fry, and you would have that little pile of ketchup right there, and and it slightly has that smell. Again, I haven't had fast food I couldn't tell you the last time.
I bet you that board meeting that had to be where they were trying to nail it. I'm sure.
Yeah,
that has to be.
We always have to give a shout out to our unpaid sponsors. So again, thank you, Lay's ketchup flavored. I'll have another one next week.
How much that bag cost?
Okay, so this is a little bag. I don't know. Probably too much.
Okay.
But here's the thing. I mean, again, I don't eat chips on a regular, but you don't
want to eat that stuff all the time.
It's a limited time flavor, so I have to try it.
Yeah. Gotta have a little fun.
Well, don't worry. I got another one next week.
Actually, speaking of that, brought up McDonald's, and I didn't eat McDonald's for a long, long time. And then I finally did in some recent time a little bit. I like the chicken sandwich, I have to say. I haven't fucked with the burgers. But the thing, if you are a McDonald's person, I'm not like that. I haven't even had it for a while. But this is the hack. Get that the McDonald's app and order it all the time through it. Just when you're pulling up, you don't have to deal with delivery per se. Pull up, order from the parking lot, and you're going to skip like a motherfucker. You're going to get your shit so fast. And every time you purchase, you're always going to get free items, like for the next visit, like real quick. Like you get a bunch of points. So you get like sandwiches and fries. And yeah, it's a good, I have to give it on that. Their app is dope.
You're secretly a spokesperson clearly for this app.
Hey, come on, McDonald's, fuck with me. I'm down.
Give you a few royalties or something, and you're good to go.
Hell yeah.
I would agree. So, moving on from
great business model, man. Their franchise is amazing, really. You have to give it to them.
I always like the movie The Founder.
There you go. I was going to say that was great.
It was a really. I mean, I was fascinated.
Because I know the story. I knew the story, so they did a great job.
I didn't know the entire story, but it was fascinating. And shouts out to Michael Keaton because he is beyond the Founder. He is the Batman.
Yes. Have you seen? Did you ever watch Birdman?
Birdman.
That was like his big recent Oscar one. It was definitely more different from anything he did.
I don't think I did.
A little more.
No.
Oh, go watch it. Yeah. And I don't watch much of shit, but when I do see something you love performance stuff, you appreciate a good acting,
right?
Whatever. Even if it's like
storyline, I like a good storyline.
Even if it's a little different, but I was happy with it. I thought it was cool. I liked it. I liked what they did. It was, imaginative. It wasn't your average bullshit. Which he always seems to, really like get those. He picks. I feel like he's had enough movies. He definitely picks interesting stuff, or it just comes his way. I mean,
yes, he's been selective throughout the years. I mean,
Pulp Fiction and his roles in that. I'm sorry, Jackie Brown. My bad. That's a good one. Jackie Brown's good. I like that shit.
Jackie Brown was good.
Yeah, that it was one at first I was like, because they're coming off Pulp Fiction, so I'm kind of like, what's gonna be? And then it was way more chill kind of vibe through that.
It did,
but it's dope. I could watch that a lot. It's so fun. Everything about it, I don't know. And there was a lot of that was filmed down here, all around here. A lot of it was filmed actually where Quentin was growing up, Torrance and Hawthorne area. So,
really?
Mm-hmm.
So not too far from you.
Yeah, like 20, 30 miles away, 35 at the most. It's kind of Hawthorne is kind of close to Redondo Beach. So it's south of to the, what would that be? This south, east side, away from Santa Monica.
Gotcha. Roughly, I am horrible with geography. It is one subject in class that I never did well on it. I mean, I know generally where things are at, but Yeah,
I loved it. Yeah.
Really? Yeah, I
did. I did, dude. I actually loved that history.
Yes.
All of them, all the histories. And then English even I loved. I mean, I had good enough teachers that made it interesting.
I would agree with that.
But a lot of people, depends, something math was, I did good for a minute, and then algebra was like, and the teacher was just.
Math is my jam, man. Remember,
you got a math mind.
Undergrad, I am a software engineer undergrad, so yeah.
Did you do calculus and shit?
Oh yeah.
See, that's dope.
And algebra beyond.
What's your hardest one out of them, or you think?
I would say when I first started learning linear algebra, it's a whole different ball game. You're dealing with matrices and so forth. Is
that deep algebra?
That's very deep algebra.
Okay. Wow. They were trying to push me to 2 because I just barely passed with a D. And I was like, you guys are crazy. I'm not trying.
Yeah. This is like algebra. This is like algebra 3 or 4. This is after calculus and all that geometry and all that fun stuff.
No, I kind of figured because my cousin Heather, shout out to Heather, she was valedictorian of Canavan of her year.
Nice.
And she had that aptitude and so forth. And I was like, calculus? She's like, yeah. And I was like, and I think she just said it. She's like, you know what? Trig was her hardest.
See, trig didn't bother me too much. Linear algebra, that.
I'm going to have to ask her this question though. I'm going to see what she says on that.
See what she says about linear algebra. Awful.
Interesting.
Awful.
My brother's you didn't know, I have 2 older half brothers, right?
Right.
They're brothers.
Right.
So Charles, he's nuclear physics professor at Temple. Long time.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah. He's
a smart guy, man.
Yeah. This guy goes searching for dark matter. He's done it.
That is
a lot of stuff.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
You need to get him on the show sometime, Nate. I don't want to pick his brain. No, I'm dead serious, dude.
I totally agree. It's been on my mind for a lot of time.
Yeah.
He would be down, I think, for sure.
Yeah, we need some of that on here too. Because the story that you sent me earlier this week saying, hey, Matt, we're going to talk about this, totally threw me off. And so we need something cool like dark matter. That sounds fun.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, What story did we get listed here? HSV.
HSV.
Yes, on the
Herpes.
streets known as yes, herpes.
Herpes, man. So there's different herpes, isn't there? Right?
Yeah, there's different strains, but
this is the shit.
Before we go down this too far, we're talking about Chris Brown, we're talking about Rihanna, and
Jay-Z as well.
And Jay-Z, and some things that actually percolated through social media within the last 5 days or so, right?
Oh, definitely. I'm sure it probably was out there in some smaller channels or some sort for some time. I'm definitely sure of that. But now with all this, the Diddy stuff, I mean, and of course, just more, you have a lot of channels that's willing to, they're into all this specific niche. And so it's just now really, if you're on that feed or getting that, you're going to get more of it. You know what I mean? Just like how the algorithm works. But yeah, you're, I'm just piling on to what you just said.
And first and foremost, definitely want to say that, obviously we do not condone domestic violence in any way, shape, or form. And what happened to Rihanna is just horrible.
Yeah, I was really bummed out about that. Now, because I love both artists as artists. All of them, matter of fact.
Right.
As a fan, for first and foremost, and it was really disappointing, to see that happen big time. Really, it was like, oh man, and it gets caught up with but it bothered me a lot. That bothered me.
Well, I'm sure it bothers
not just me.
I mean, everybody. When I pulled up the pictures just to refresh myself with, the entire situation and seeing that, I'm like, oh my goodness, that's freaking horrible. Like,
yeah,
that's no one deserves to,
not at
deal
all
with that.
And, no.
Stay tuned for the next part of this episode.